It would be an understatement to say that since she returned to D.C. following a brief stint at Camp Pendleton, relations between Special Agent Jessica Knight, Katrina Law, and her ex-medical examiner, Dr. Jimmy Palmer, Brian Dietzen, have been tense. However, the NCIS episode airing on November 4 will have the discussion they have been delaying. In Sticks and Stones, NCIS is called in to attempt to eliminate the threat after learning of many dangerous places that might spark a devastating conflict. When would be a good time for the two to speak at last? Dietzen and Law discuss that conversation, playing the discomfort this season, and other topics below. How was it to portray your characters' uncomfortable interactions in these season opening episodes? Your characters weren't the only ones who get engaged. Katrina Law: I know that every scene we do together will be a blast since Brian and I have such a terrific working chemistry. Therefore, it was just wonderful that after years of a wonderful relationship, we get to add awkwardness to it. Additionally, no one performs uncomfortable quite as Knight and Shining Palmer. Brian Dietzen: that's right. Indeed, it was intriguing since they approached us and warned that there might be relationship issues, relationship ups and downs, a split, and other things. And I believe that both of us were a little apprehensive because we wanted to continue having scenes together because we love our stuff together. But they reassured us that there would still be scenes together, but that there would be an additional layer that would make it more interesting and possibly challenging at times. Therefore, we say, okay, let's do this. Law: in my opinion, it's fairly equal. One of the best things about them avoiding the entire conversation, in my opinion, is that Jimmy, who is the series communicator and is excellent at reading people's emotions and encouraging them to speak, hasn't, which in my opinion says a lot about how much the two of them want to avoid this whole subject. Establish the circumstances that compelled them to have this discussion. In your opinion, how long would it have taken them to have it without this? Dietzen: I believe they would have avoided anything less than the end of the planet. Giggles: we ask ourselves, you know what we should do before we all blow up? When the possibility of nuclear war and world devastation are involved, we ought to discuss our feelings and current situation. Even still, I would contend that several things are still not discussed. They say, yeah, hold on, we'll talk about that later. Dietzen: it seems to me that for everyone who has experienced love, Jimmy's love for Jess is not the start, middle, or finish of a relationship. There are other factors to consider, particularly if you are attempting to preserve your daughter's heart. And in times of change, I believe that Jimmy will always be the father figure to his child and to himself as well. He lost his wife, so he wants to make sure that if we move forward, it will be more permanent so that I won't have to worry about you leaving again in the future. And it seems natural and quite normal to me that he would be erecting some guards to defend himself. I approve with the changes made to Ducky's office. How frequently will somebody be in there? Deads in the Bullpen, the autopsy, Casey's Diana Reasonover lab, and the director's Rocky Carroll office are among the standing sets on our set, which is really wonderful. Additionally, we had a standing set in Gibbs, Mark Harmon, basement for a long period that we were no longer utilizing. Additionally, since Gibbs' house is unoccupied by any of our team members, it provided some space for a permanent set where we could introduce fresh situations. Since that set is now permanent, our authors may essentially use it whenever they want to create new scenes set there. And I think it's very fantastic. It provides a somewhat more relaxed environment where two agents might meet and converse without being completely on the record in front of everyone. As an alternative to visiting my lab, Casey may have a more private meeting with Jess, Torres, Wilmer Valderrama, or someone similar. I'd obtained these results. I adore the idea behind it.